I am Jacqueline Moore, the CEO of Faith Community United Credit Union, one of the largest minority-owned credit unions in the state of Ohio. Actually, next month we will be 69 years old. And as I was sharing, we are a community credit union, not a bank. The difference, we have owners. And in business, as we're here to discuss, we need to own things. So that's why we're here to tell you about one of the greatest financial institutions in the city, and anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Cuyahoga County, you're eligible to join.
All right.
Hi, my name is Dawn Wynn. I'm the Vice President of Lending with Faith. I've been with Faith for 5.5 years at this point. However, I have over 20 years of lending experience. So as Jackie mentioned, coming in 5 years, this area was new for me. Coming from banking into credit union world, it's a big difference. So I had to learn that difference. But one thing that doesn't change is lending. Lending stays the same across the board.
All right. So I want to start off by getting back to what you had said earlier, just to explain more for people that haven't had any type of interaction with the credit union, where they'll know the difference. You said that a bank is owned by that organization, but a credit union is owned by members or individuals. But those individuals, you take ownership by depositing money in there. So I just want to be clear. Everybody that has $1 deposited at Faith Credit is an owner, so to speak?
Everyone that has at least $50.
Okay, $50.
Share is $50. That's
Okay.
to open the account. Once you deposit $50, you are a shareholder. You're a part owner of our institution.
Okay, so what does that mean exactly? So when I become an owner, do I get a key to your bank or your credit union?
An invisible one.
Do I get the code to access it to the safe?
Well, at some point, you can. At some point, maybe.
I remember. I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah, once you
All right.
join the credit union, our board of directors are made up of credit union members.
Okay.
You have to be a member to sit on our board. Our board has 9 directors, and anyone who's a member, as we have asked you a couple of times, can join. You know, you apply, send in your applications. The members of the credit union vote on the board.
Yeah.
So they'll bring you on, and the board comes together with the CEO to help move the credit union.
Okay.
We try to look for individuals from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
We have insurance agents, teachers, attorneys, you know, business owners. And then we have truck drivers, you know, so it's not like we want our full membership to be a part of that board, because when they come to the table to make decisions about interest rates and different offers we can offer our members, we don't want it to just be like the bank with stockholders, and we're thinking what's going to make the most money for us, the 9.
Yeah.
We want you to look at the almost 6,000 members that we have.
Yeah.
What would work best for the masses?
Yeah.
And that is the elite down to the unemployed.
Yeah. And it's only 6,000 at this point?
At this point, we're close to 6,000 members.
We got to get those numbers up.
We definitely have to get those numbers
We should be
up.
at 25,000, no problem.
Easily.
All right.
Because
And when I say we, I'm taking ownership because I've been with Faith Community Credit Union for about 15, 20 years now. And, you know, I'm there. I'm on the regular. I do business there.
Yes,
I have multiple accounts there. I do loans there, car loans, personal loans, credit loans, real estate loans, and everything. So I really, I believe that I'm taking advantage of the full spectrum of some of the things that you guys offer, and a lot of people are not, and we need to change that.
And we talk about that often.
Yeah.
We are the marketing piece, the best piece.
Yeah.
We send out newsletters, we can go on the radio, and you can do all of these things, but a personal testimony is the best testimony to have. You know, people will tell you when something is wrong, but rarely will people go out and tell when it's right, or I had a good experience. So we always say if each one tells one, then our numbers would double just right there.
Yeah. I think you said it earlier, but to make sure that I'm clear, are you the second oldest black-owned or minority-owned credit union in Ohio?
We're one of the largest minority-owned credit unions in
But
the
in
state
terms
of
of
Ohio.
age, where does that
Well,
fall
age,
in?
no. I mean, there are credit unions that are older than us.
A lot older in Ohio?
Yeah, in Ohio.
Oh, okay. For whatever reason, I always thought it was the second. Oh, it's the second largest.
No, we're the first.
Oh, the largest in
because
Ohio.
at this point, minority.
Okay.
Because the church, the credit union started in the church. We started at Mount Sinai, but Antioch and some others were already formed. So they're older than us.
Okay.
But we're larger.
Okay.
Than they are.
And the founder is?
We started Reverend Hill, Dr. Hill from Mount Sinai Baptist Church came together with a few other ministers and decided 70 almost years ago, probably longer because some were already formed, that our people were not being served. And when I started, I've been with the credit union 35 years.
Yeah.
Came out of high school, yes.
Yeah.
So I was given this story as well because I didn't know a bank from a credit union.
Yeah.
But Dr. Hill spoke with me and said how important this mission is. It's more than just a bank. It's a journey that we have to help one another. And he explained to me that they could not purchase cars, homes. Women couldn't purchase anything. Nothing whatsoever. And so they pulled their dollars together and started a credit union.
Yeah, a lot of our people, the older people that's watching right now, they probably can understand, but the younger generation really can't understand. 69 years ago, when this credit union was founded, how different the world was. I mean, it's just like in their lifetime, it's very hard to, even mine, I'm 49, and I really can't relate to, because even when I was younger, I can't relate to trying to get loans or, depositing money in the bank, even though I had a bank account at my church. At that time, it didn't really affect me in any type of way. But the older people that might be listening to this, they can respect when you say 70 years ago, this church came together to start this credit union to help people out that couldn't get loans at traditional financial institutions. And at this point, everybody's talking about redlining, how it affected. And that was one of the main things that, motivated us to come together. And when I say us, people that look like me come together to create opportunities for loans and financial assistance to buy a house, a car, or open up a business. Even at that point. So that's
Can you
great.
imagine today? You're saying a business there. They were trying to get an automobile. Something that 70 years later. And some of them are still around our charter members. And when they come by the credit union, we get a chance to talk to them. They're just like, wow.
Right. So we're talking about the 50s. It was
we were
founded
in 52.
And 1952. So that's amazing. So understand that, and we definitely need to get the numbers up. 6,000 is not enough.
Yes,
that's that should be shameful in a city of Cleveland as large as we are. And this is not just, so understand this. This is just not for people of color. This is for money. The money is green, so it doesn't matter. I personally see non-African American people in the credit union on the regular. And I remember the first time I've heard of Faith Community Credit Union, I assumed it was just Christian-based. It's not, right? So any religion, it covers any religion, faith. And not just if you're not a religious person. If you live in Cuyahoga County, if you work in Cuyahoga County, if you do business in Cuyahoga County, you can open up an account there. Or go to school in Cuyahoga County, you can do business there. So no, that's good information. We definitely need to be a part of it. So you're the CEO.
Yes.
You sit in the big office with can't be touched, but she's more of your bodyguard. So she's the first person of contact. Actually, she's like the third person of contact when you come in there. So we'll skip the other ones and go straight to you. So tell the people exactly what do you do on a regular basis.
So what I do on a regular basis is I am in charge of all lending aspects for the credit union, which means your consumer loans, your business loans, your auto loans, your home loans, your refinancing, home equity lines of credit, anything that has to do with lending, as well as financial literacy. A lot of people just assume that they come in, we're a financial institution, that they're coming to get a loan. They don't understand that I also have the education of financial education or financial literacy, credit repair. And we do all that as a service and not an additional fee that you're possibly paying when you go out to these websites and they want a $50 fee or a $75 fee to repair your credit. We offer all these services as well. So as Akeem mentioned, when they come in to see me, a lot of times it may be for lending, but it may end up being a conversation just about financial literacy and what you need to do to get you where you need to go. Because it may not be yes today, but it may be 6 months from now, a year from now, as long as you're willing to learn and listen and follow the path that we're trying to get you on to become better.
Yeah, it's something that you just said. I'm always trying to give people information and knowledge, especially through my own journey. I've been blessed to literally start from the bottom up and work my way up. So I've learned a lot of lessons through that. And one of the most important things that I learned, you never ask for money when you need it. You never apply for money when you need it.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. I'm sure you guys experience this, you ladies experience this on a regular. People are coming in there panicking at the last minute when they need the money.
Yes.
Well, when they should apply when they didn't need it, and have it at least already set up and to be approved for it. Or at least be knowledgeable of their situation, their personal financial situation, what they can afford. Because people are delusional, right?
Yes.
I'm sure they come in asking for $1 million, but their tax returns only justify $20,000.
Or even less than that. I think they don't understand the aspect of credit. I heard, Faith give away money. I'm going to go, I make $25,000 a year. I'm going to go ahead and apply for this $75,000 to $100,000 loan. Especially with our business owners, so they're, I'm glad he has us here today for this platform, because a lot of people in business apply for these loans and they don't have their business tax returns or their income in order. So they don't understand that I don't want to claim any income all year, but I want a $100,000 loan. My business make money, but your tax returns show that your business doesn't make money.
Yeah.
So this is something that, as a community that we need to do better in as far as educating them in business as well as finances, and letting them know it's a bigger picture. So you may have to claim some of these funds up front, and you may even have to get on a payment plan to pay those proceeds back to the IRS. But you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up, like he said, so that you can have those larger loans later. So as you grow in business, you have that credit line that you can rely on and not come to us. You're not claiming any money. I need $100,000. I have this big business is making money, but now I need to grow my business, and now you can't.
Yeah. So, on Black Table Talks, I bring guests on that I can relate to, that I've dealt with in business, personally, but mostly I do it because, over my 15, 20-year entrepreneurial journey, that, I find myself in situations that is not enough people taking advantage of those opportunities. Like, I keep mentioning because it's in my head, 6,000 members, that's a shame. It's 400,000 people of color in Cleveland proper. And it's, I think, 1.6 million is the current population of Cleveland proper, and they only have 6,000 members. That's crazy.
Not
but
even 1%.
Yeah. So just to talk a little bit about my journey, I remember when walking into Faith Community Credit Union about 12 years ago, when I was, starting my journey. I was just getting going. I think at that time, I was just selling things on Craigslist, right? eBay, out the trunk of my car, buying and selling. So I really didn't have a necessary business. And people don't understand that, too. In terms of filing tax returns, you can file tax returns whether you work independently or get a paycheck. That doesn't, matter. You can file tax returns whether you're making $5,000 or $500,000. You still should file some type of tax return. So even in my first entrepreneurial journey 12 years ago, when I was buying and selling things on Craigslist, if I made $50,000, I can claim that and pay on that and file taxes. But I remember coming into the credit union at that time for the first time, my credit score was like 515, 520. And, pretty much I tried to apply for a car loan. And pretty much at that time, they did what they should. They kind of giggled at me and laughed. But the one thing that was and very important, I tell this story all the time, is that the other banks, I don't believe, would have done is they said, look, we can't give you a loan at this time, but these are the things that you need to start working on. This is what you need to do. You need to open up an account, start establishing a relationship with this. We looked at your credit. These are the issues on your credit. It's not bad. You just need to do this, and this.
Correct.
Once you do that, come back. So for the next year and a half, I came back to the credit union, making deposits, writing my checks, making withdrawals, speaking to everyone. So you notice who I am. I started on my business journey, opening up my first Angie's. So obviously I came in promoting my food. So you seen that I was making deposits, doing business. And then I came back maybe 18 months later and applied for a loan. So my credit had increased. They had seen my activity on my account. I think my credit was still kind of subpar, low 600s, but they said, hey, you're really not that strong, but you can do a secured loan. And a secured loan at that time was, well, I don't know if I'm mixing the terms up. Basically, they said, hey, if you had A1 credit, you can come in with no money down. But they said, this car that you're trying to buy is $36,000. You need to put $16,000 down, and we'll at least give you $20,000. What is that called?
Partially shared secured.
Oh, partially shared secured. So my $16,000 was deposited in my account, and it was just locked. I couldn't withdraw it, but it stayed there to show that if I defaulted on this loan, that y'all would be $16,000 ahead.
And
right?
keep in mind,
Correct.
that money that he put down is once he paid that car off, he has $16,000 still left in his shares that he has gained. It's not a lot of interest, but he's gaining interest on. However, had he gone to a dealership and they said, give me $16,000, that $16,000 would have went on a car. I mean, he would have still had a loan for the difference. You see the difference? So we automatically offer a forced savings, not only to help you get or achieve the loan that you're trying to get, but we also offer you, hey, I'm done paying off the loan. What's my reward? Well, you got $16,000 plus whatever interest that it has, accrued over that time period.
And you can also put it in a CD, which will make the highest rates we have. So your money is sitting in a CD, building more money. Your money is just not doubling like Dawn said, but it's even higher rates while you're paying your loan and you're building your credit. So it's working hand in hand. I'm glad you used yourself for that example because a lot of people need to know this is how you have to do it. People are not patient.
They want it
right
then.
And if you don't, but if you take the time and the steps to do it like you did, it's going to pay off all the time.
Well, I have to remind people all the time, it's a marathon, it's not a 100-yard dash.
Exactly.
And, people look at the short part of the run, but they don't look at the long distance. So, fortunately, I've disciplined myself enough to always look at the long-term play, not the short-term play.
And you said something, not to interrupt, also that I like is that you would come in and you speak to everyone and you bank with us. Relationship is huge with the credit union because not only did he say he did everything that he was asked to do when he came in with the 515 or 520 credit score, he built a relationship with everyone to show us how serious he was about being there. Because it's not even always about credit score. We have some members that come in with lower credit scores all the time. But they may have been a member for 5-10 years and they've been consistent. They may not have been consistent with everyone, but they've been consistent with us. And we're still trying to work with them to get them consistent, not just with us, because we don't want you to be able to just to come to us. We want you to be able to go anywhere. You should have options. But the fact that he said he came in and speak, he knows everyone by name. He's addressing the MSRs by name. He's waving and speaking. Relationship is everything because that shows us how serious he was about changing his narrative about where he started and where he is now. So keep that in mind as well when you're building a relationship or when you're going to a financial institution, especially a credit union. We're built on relationship as well.
No, absolutely, because people don't understand the word credit just not represents something dealing with money. Credit represents credibility. And I learned that with dealing with financial institutions and individuals, period. They look at that. They want to see the credibility that you have that goes with your name and as an individual. So during my time going in, doing, like I said, deposits and withdrawals, you guys seen that I wasn't just somebody coming in making a large deposit or a large withdrawal once or twice a year. I was actually doing some type of business, and that spoke highly. And again, that's anywhere, though. I've been in situations at Huntington Key and PNC that I approached the bank and knew that I might have had a check that somebody wrote me for $20,000, but they misspelled my name. So instead of me having to go back and get another check issued from that person, which would have been automatic, almost impossible if it came through the mail, they knew who I was. They felt like, we're going to go ahead and cash this check because this guy's not going to disappear for this $20,000. If an issue arises, we can get back in contact
and
with
we've had
them.
those conversations, not just with you, with other
other
members as well, where those situations have occurred. And
Right.
we're like, oh, we know that person, you know, he's done this or that, or continuous banked with us. We're not going to make something so easy, so difficult for somebody that has been built a relationship with us and have done great banking with us.
Yeah. So we're here at the Black Table Talks. You know, the Black Table Talks is specifically for my target audience of small business owners, entrepreneurs, would-be entrepreneurs, some already, and investors. So tell the people who's watching and listening from your standpoint, what resources do you have specifically directly towards those individuals? Because obviously, out of the 6,000, I'm sure majority of those individuals are not doing business. Right?
Correct.
They're not
Correct.
investors. They're not small
Correct.
business owners.
Correct.
They're just consumers that's using the bank, you know, for consumer transactions. But for the audience that I'm targeting is small business owners, entrepreneurs, investors.
Okay.
What do you have available for them?
Okay, so we have a lot of resources for our business membership. So, for example, we have the financial literacy piece to start, you know, what they need to do, as I mentioned earlier in the conversation about getting their taxes in order. We have people on site that comes in. We have contractors or consultants, I should say, such as Brad West, which I'm sure you're probably going to have
SBA
on
guy.
the show as well, that he actually consults with us a lot. He's like one of our number one resources, actually, when it comes to business, because this is what he does. This is like his bread and butter. So he knows business tax returns in and out. He knows profit and loss statements. He knows summaries. And some of those things, I mean, I know a lot about those, but because that's his area of specialty.
He does it every day.
He does it every day. I'm not dealing with those aspects of business every day. So usually when there's a difficult decision to be made, Brad is called in. Other resources is just, you know, the literature that we pass out daily. If people don't take time to read the literature. We put out a newsletter quarterly. A lot of times there's business information in there, and we put information in there just on websites they need to go to. Tax time is coming up. Here's some information about SBA. Here's some information about if you want a business account with us. We do require that you fill out a business packet, and we don't really require a lot. Where you go to a lot of the bigger financial institutions, and when I say this, I mean banks, they require a lot more, because I come from big banking. I can tell you, we make it so much easier. We ask for $100 deposit. Not if, you know, people's like, why do I got to pay $100? You're not paying $100. You're investing into your business by opening your account with $100. $100 is very minimal to open a business account versus a bank. And I'm sure you.
If you don't have $100 to open up an account,
you shouldn't be in business. Exactly.
Exactly.
So your EIN certificate and your articles of certification, which means that all comes from the state. So you should be able to walk in with us with this information on hand. And then from there, we make it pretty easy. It's a 4 or 5 page packet that you fill out about your business. You should know all your partnerships. You should know all your participants and the role that they play. Believe it or not, we have so many people that come open a business account. What's the article of certification? I'm like, you have a business, you don't know what the article is. Why do I got to send my EIN? It's on the website. I'm like, well, as a business person, you should come in with all this information. And that's not to demean or minimize anybody about their knowledge, but this is information that you should know if you're truly operating a legitimate business. So
they're just hustling. They're not doing business.
Exactly.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's levels to this. I keep reminding everybody, there's levels, and you're a hustler. Nobody's knocking you, but you're not doing business.
Exactly.
When you're saying that, whatever level you come into faith, we're able to meet you at that level. Because, as Dawn said, if you don't know that, outside of Brad, we will reach out to the Urban League. We will try and find what you need. If we can't do it, we're going to connect you to some of our community partners. We work with the Cleveland Neighborhood Progress, and they've invested into faith, and they help us with the financial counseling. You know, whereas you would have to pay, they're partnering with us. We will send members to them to do the steps, as we spoke about with you. You meet them 3 or 4 times and do this. They'll send us and recommend, hey, let's approve them for this. You know, and it's just partnerships.
Now, is that for a consumer loan or business loan?
Consumer loans. And then I know we've sent different business individuals, because as Dawn just said, some of the business owners, they have the minimum. I mean, they really need that as well. I started this business. I have an EIN number, but my credit is hit. They don't understand that you are the best.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you
Until
can't
you
come
get to a certain level.
to a certain level.
You can't disassociate yourself with
Right,
that.
they're like, run it under my business. I'm trying to build credit, and we're like, you are the business. You know, Faith can't go and sue Angie's and start making chicken and waffles and all. We can't. But we can look for you. You represent the brand. And that was just so good when you said that. Going back, I think of how we put your cards out. We support our businesses. We do lunches. And we'll say, definitely. I'll get the staff. We're like, hey, we're going to support Angie's. So then we know what's going on. Or Sunshine.
Or Cleveland Breakfast Club. Or the Vegan Club. Or Zanzibar.
Yeah, we're going to
sure.
the vegan
You definitely
this
have, for sure. Yeah, good.
Yes.
All right.
And that's how we do it. And not just, you know, your businesses. If someone is looking for painters, we tell our members, we see them come in, we're like, give us cards.
We use snow plowing right in our lot for local.
We use our own businesses to do that, to keep our lawns up, you know, and that's how it passes on. So I think we're a great resource for business owners, you know.
So basically, we're not turning anyone away. We're saying if we can't get you the immediate answer, like Jackie said, we have resources within the credit union and contacts to get you in touch with the proper person to help you get started the correct way in business. So
when you say you're not turning anybody away, you're turning some people down.
Yes.
But you're not turning them away
no.
without any information.
Absolutely
so worst
not.
case scenario, if you come into the credit union and you apply for whatever you're applying for, you might not get it, but you can obtain some information.
Absolutely.
And information is more valuable than money for those that don't know, understand that.
Exactly.
Because once you get the knowledge and understanding of your situation, your financial situation, whether it's credit, economics, financial, you know, you know, that's the most important thing.
That's the number one thing. Jackie's biggest motto there is like, you need to be a member. Stay a member. Don't walk away because we can't approve you today. This is what you need. Let me get you in touch with Brad. Let's sit down. What are you trying? Exactly what is your business? That's the first thing that we always ask, like, what is your business? How long have you been in business? What is it exactly that you do? So that we can get you the proper resource. But we don't want people to say, well, this is not the place for me because I can't get what I requested today. But because if you can't get it with Faith at some point in your journey, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be harder to go to a bigger bank to get it. I'm not saying that a bigger bank or a financial institution won't give it to you. But why not, you know, get it where you started and build that relationship where you start. Just don't go running, and then you'll end up probably worse off. Because you're not getting it the right. Because you're not going to get it the right way.
And you're not building a relationship with just any one financial institution. You're running around just trying to see who says yes. And you're not building any credibility at all, and that's the problem. I meet so many individuals on my journey, and when they come to me for these questions on where should they open up an account, where should they apply for a loan, a car loan, and when I tell them, you know, you're a financial institution, you know, and I'm thinking that's over with. 2 years later, they're asking me again. I'm like, well, did you go down there? Oh, I went down there, but they turned me down that day. Well, did you follow up? Did you do what they suggested? Did you no, I'm gonna do it. Well, you just lost 2 years. So don't come asking me about this in 2 more years because you wasted my time now. So no, people want it tomorrow. They want it right now. They want it immediate satisfaction. And if one of the most, I mean, we're dropping a lot of jewels and a lot of information, but one of the most important things that I just want to reiterate is don't wait until you need it to ask for it.
That's true.
Do not wait. While you think you up on your high horse, you think everything is going good, go get a line of credit. Even if you don't need it. The great thing about a line of credit, you don't have to pay on it if you're not using it.
That's right.
It can sit there for a year, 5 years, 6 years, get it, whether it's a HELOC, whether it's a personal line of credit, whether it's just a good credit card, which I got from you guys, I remember probably 4 or 5 years ago for like $15,000, $20,000. I used it for a short period of time, and I didn't need it anymore, and it's just sitting there, but I know I can tap into it whenever I want to.
That's right.
I have my son go and get a line of credit with you I remember we were shopping for bicycles, and you know, he went in, I had him finance a bike. It was a $500 bike to build credit when he was 18, 19. Because people don't understand. You use it when you have it. So I'm a firm believer in only using credit for 2 reasons, right? And this is not for everybody, but it's for individuals that's trying to push to the next level. You use it to build credit.
Absolutely.
or for investment purposes.
Yes.
That's it. I only believe in credit for those 2 reasons, and I live my life by that. So for my son, I had him finance that bike. He had the money. He was ready to pay for it. But I said, you're not building credit. This is a perfect way that you can finance this bike for $5. And I actually, he didn't go to you. He used the company. They were offering 0%, right, interest for this bike for $600. And I had him finance it for $600 just to build credit. And he's not paying $1, and he had the money. Don't put the money in the account and just put it on automatic payments every month. People
And
don't
we
think
do the
of it
same.
like that.
Unfortunately, ours is not 0%.
Yeah,
But
right,
can't go
right.
that low.
We can't go that low, but we did.
But it's pretty low.
I
we can
did the exact same thing for my daughter. I mean, I have bought her a car, and I said, why would I give $7,500 to buy her this car? This was the second car that I purchased. This is the last, but this is the second car. But I said, instead of giving the money, I'm going to put it in her name, put up the money for her. She works and goes to school. Let her make the monthly payment. And at the same time, her credit score is constantly building. We have loans as small as birthday loans. And you'll be surprised. People are like, why would I take out a loan for my birthday? But if you're 21, 22 years old and you're just trying to build credit, take out a loan for 1 year. For $1,000, well, $500 the first time, $1,000 the second year. If you get it the first year, minimum requirement. All you have to do is be a member at least a year. Have direct deposit. You get a birthday loan every year. That's a great way for a young adult to start building credit because we report that even though we're not even pulling credit because of your membership. We don't even pull credit, but we will report it to credit. Our shares.
They don't pull credit for the birthday loans.
We don't pull credit for the birthday loan because you have direct deposit.
So we know the money is coming.
And we're paying out of your direct deposit, but we're giving you the opportunity, no credit check, but we're going to report it to TransUnion every single month so that you get credit for it. You'd be surprised in 6 months' time or a year's time how much credit has established for someone. The share secure rate on our loans is 4.5%. That's just a standard interest rate. It's not 0%, but 4.5. You can't get a 4.5 rate on a $7,500 loan with no credit. My daughter really didn't have a lot of credit, so to go purchase her first car or something where we weren't paying cash for the first time is unheard of. To get a 4.5 out the gate, I mean, I think she's paying like for 3 years $168 a month. I mean, it's worth it. And now her credit score is over 740. I mean, her credit score is up. It's probably higher than mine now because she doesn't have a lot of debt. And I'm okay with that because, like Akin said, our goal is to make our children better, to make our youth better, to make the next generation even better than we were.
So that's key that you mentioned youth. We have youth accounts. You can start your account for $10 with a youth under 18. And that was the youth part. Their heart, my heart is just geared to them. Starting as an 18-year-old at the credit union, and I could see the journey and what I got out of it for the elders talking to me, telling me, just like what you're saying. I always tell my team, family all the time, get the knowledge. Knowledge cannot be taken from you. Get the knowledge. Teach them. I did the same thing with my the kids in my family. They all have CDs. You're not going to touch them. What do you need it for? 5-year CDs and let them flip every 5 years. At 18, look what you'll have.
Exactly.
You know, just
what's the youngest? What's the youngest that someone can open up an account on their own?
The new on their own is 18.
Oh, is it?
You're going to need a guardian.
But a guardian, somebody can go. It's no limit, right? Okay.
No, you have it as a baby born. A lot of people come in and it's like, I want to open up, as long as there's a guardian.
And at 18, it'll roll over to the, or 21. You set it up how you want it to work.
People don't understand is math. It's all about numbers. My daughter opened her first account up when she was 8. And she's only 10 now, 9. And she went in the bank, and they played along with me just for her sake. They knew what I was doing. I said my daughter would like to open up an account, even though it's under one of my accounts. She went in, she sat at the desk, she signed her own name, and she went and handed the teller the money, and they gave her a receipt. And I tell her mother all the time, listen, when she has money to deposit, I'm going to deposit. I don't have time. No. Well, wait until you can take her in the bank, walk her in there, give her her money, let her hand the money to the teller, and let the teller give the receipt. Because like you said, it mentally it affects them.
It's a different reward. It's a different reward.
Definitely very early.
Because I have a 22-year-old that still relies on me because I'm there every day. Here, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? So I finally told her,
Yeah.
She went out of town this past week, and I told her she forgot to get money.
Yeah.
I said, go to the ATM. She was like, isn't that going to cost me a fee?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you should have never forgot.
I said, yeah,
Right,
because
right.
stop relying on me
Yeah.
to get your money. So sometimes, and I think I waited a little bit longer in life, but that is a great lesson because the younger you start making them responsible, I think with the whole financial aspect, even in business, it's going to make a big difference. You know, it becomes a habit. And then even with business loans, is getting back on that subject, you want your kids to see, no matter if you're working a 9 to 5 or if you're self-employed, you want to start instilling those habits now, especially if you come from a family from entrepreneurs. You want your children to see you doing business the correct way.
Yeah.
You don't want them saying that you're out here robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're borrowing money out here in the streets, saying I need you to invest or whatever. You want, like he said, to be able to go to that line of credit or have that reserve, because that's important, because you want to constantly grow in business. Yeah. So if you have that, you can go to that credit line. It's like, I'm opening up another location, as you've done, multiple times, but you had the resources already on hand to go to. And just to mention back to the shared secured, you can even do shared secured loans at 4.5 in business. We have a lot of business owners that come to us that have credit, but they have cash. They have the money. Put the money up and we'll give it right back to you, and you just make a monthly payment on your money and pay yourself back. And then now you're building credit. Doing business. And then now you can come back to us a year or two later, however long it takes you to pay that, say $25,000 back. We may be able to give you that $25,000 now unsecured, because you've done everything. Now your credit report changed the narrative, says something totally different. So you want to always keep that in mind as well.
And reach back. You're going to have to open that youth account for your daughter with us.
Oh, I'm going to do it.
Well, at
that time it was just out of convenience, right? It was just out of convenience. But no, definitely. Well, I got 6 accounts with y'all.
My goal.
Or 7.
Yeah, you have more than probably that.
Okay, all right.
They may want to put your name on there one day.
Okay, all right. So
I would love to have a youth credit union. There are some throughout the country, yes, where the kids run a credit union themselves. They have their own board, so they don't know how the whole system works. Some credit unions have it, but we've always talked about it many, many, many years, and you get it started. You have your junior credit union. And we went to have our board meeting
thing with the kids.
They're there with their board meeting. Yes.
We did and the kids had to present when Jackie and I went to John Marshall. Okay. The kids had to present their business to us. And we rewarded them with an account with funds already in it. So they actually whoever won got to go to New York or whatever, present their business. So it was probably like 6 teams, and me and Jackie was the judge. Okay. And they had to they had to do a whole presentation, props, show us how this business is going to run and work all the way down to the financials.
I love it.
Budgeting.
I like that.
They had to do
whatever we're doing. Is it prime? You're starting a business. I mean, these kids, it would amaze you. And you think Cleveland Public, John Marshall, the COVID hit and we had to stop. Yeah. That really threw us off track.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But going in there just to see the art, I mean, these kids were artists. They have a coffee shop.
The one girl with the donut, the cake making business.
Yes. And then they were trying to get a credit union in the school. So we would have a branch in their school, but the kids would run it. And it was just for them. All of our members off the street anywhere couldn't come, and it was only open during the school year. We had one at Jane Addams when I went to Jane Addams.
Yeah, I remember that.
Had your own bank in there. So these are things still, it's like, come on, you guys.
So next time they open this up for the business, we're going to have you come, so when the kids present business, it would be nice to have one of our members there that has a lot of successful businesses to be able to present to these kids or to be a judge of them.
I came to Jane Addams. We were there together. You remember that way back?
Times.
And that was the first time I heard your story. I was so impressed. But this is what it takes. You can't make it and forget where you came from.
Of course not.
You can't forget the kids or the people behind you that are still struggling. I always tell everyone, reach back. Just, volunteer. The credit union's strongest resources throughout the years have been volunteerism. And it's almost gone. People want to be paid for everything, and with technology, I don't have time. Can we Zoom it? Can we, but it's still that
not
group.
On hands. Yeah,
it's not on hands. You still have that core group that needs that touch.
All right.
You know, and that's what we.
Y'all got my light bulb going off.
Yeah,
a little,
we got-
'cause
He's gonna try to
when you
open up a
said
children's
that,
credit
yeah.
union.
I mean, that's great.
You know, I've been
Right.
thinking about how to open up a second franchise of the credit union anyway, so I might
Yes.
just do it with that bank I bought down on Broadway when they leases.
Right, we
Yeah,
talked about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Or put
So-
the children's credit union in.
Yeah, I might start with a children's credit union. Yeah,
That's the
yep,
thing,
and spend
I'm
it off
telling
to
you.
there. Yep. So, from a business standpoint, if someone was looking specifically for business funding, you are SBA certified location or financial institution.
Yes,
So
you're
even
right.
if somebody was trying to borrow money for a small business through the SBA, they can come through you, or what about outside of the SBA?
And we do business loans as
We
well.
do business loans up
Okay.
to, so we have a max in-house because of our capital, correct?
Mhm.
So we have a max in-house up to 50,000 that we will do on our books.
Okay.
Anything over 50,000, you would want to actually go through the SBA because it is backed by SBA
Yes.
and covered by SBA because the risk is larger, obviously, for any amount larger. But if anyone needed anything up to 50,000 and they have a legitimate business, they have the correct paperwork in line, and they feel they want to come open a business account with Faith, and they want to do business with us, and they need, maybe some working capital or a startup, fee for another location, whatever it may be, they can come apply directly in office with us. We do have a credit review team. Even though I am the lender, it does come to me first. Sometimes if everything is not in order, we go to the committee. A committee consists of me, Jackie, and Brad, who's also the SBA lender, which obviously he should be involved because sometimes it could be over that threshold. Brad can say, I can do it, or this needs to stay in-house. So we always collectively make that decision.
Okay. Now that's up to $50,000 in-house, but with SBA, is it not? It's like
It's a limit. It's
limit.
150.
Oh, 150,000.
It's 150
right.
because we still have to put those funds on our books. So
Okay.
because it's still coming out of, even though it's backed by SBA, it's still out of
You're
our
We
working
have a
capital.
reserve.
Yeah, we
Well,
have a
it depends
reserve.
on what type of SBA loan that it is. They're an 85% guarantee.
Okay.
That's what's better for us because our risk is 15%.
Yes. Yes.
So we usually start there.
Okay.
SBA will approve what type of lending you're able to do based on your financial institution.
Alright.
Now, as we grow and more funds come into the credit union, those limits can go up.
Okay.
Because we can only have a certain percent of our assets in a loan portfolio, business, real estate, so it's only so much. We can't take every dollar and put it in SBA.
Yeah.
That balances your sheet out. We don't want to be top heavy with all business loans and every business closed. We're done,
Of course, which is a lot more riskier.
Right, but as you have more money,
Yeah.
then you have more you can do. We can up that business amount in-house
Yeah.
and say we can probably do a little bit more here.
Yeah.
The autos,
Yeah.
we had caps there.
Yeah.
Well, as we grew and we
increased.
increased and then we could do different
Yeah.
auto, lending.
Like you
such
said,
as-
getting that 6,000 membership up will
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
be
Oh,
able to
that
increase
changes
our
your whole
more
plan.
members, more
More
money.
money.
more money that we can lend
Well,
out.
that's it.
Yeah.
Now that's the key because you can have 500 members and they truly work your organization and you can bring in millions with them.
Yeah. Of course.
We can have 20,000 members and
Yeah,
if you just
right.
bring $50,
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Just
got
to open that
20,000
account,
people.
It's not
exactly.
gonna happen.
Right, it's not.
No.
You must use our service.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
And we really have something that can really help anyone where you are.
Yeah.
We can try and work it, bring it to the table.
Yeah.
How can we do? Most credit unions weren't doing RVs. Faith,
Y'all finance RV.
Mhm.
Okay.
And boats.
Recreational vehicles.
boats.
Okay.
We had a member who was like, I really want this boat.
Don't
We
tell
got
him that. He
together.
was trying to get a
I
yacht.
don't
I mean,
want
you
to
just
know. I don't
think,
want to
you know,
know.
I mean, just things like that. Wheelchair. We were talking about a member that needs
A
a
van
lift
with a wheelchair.
Okay.
on the van, and it's
Yeah.
like, let's come to the table.
Yeah.
That's people helping people.
All right.
You know.
So where people can understand, again, where they can get out their perspective of credit unions, just to put my personal experience in effect where you can understand, most people think of credit unions small, community, right, money. Because honestly, I did when I first thought about the credit union. You see the location, you think it's a credit union, it's member based, it's not, it's not the big leagues, but just where people can understand, I have financed a $400,000 house before with the credit union, a personal house that I lived in. I have financed $150,000 car before the credit union. And I know that's not normal. Your normal members is not coming in with those loans. But why did I go to the credit union? Because that's where the base was at. That was the relationship.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. I had A1 credit at that time, so don't start running to the credit union with a 500 credit score trying to finance a $400,000 house or a $150,000 car. My credit at that point was at a place that I could have went anywhere to do the loan, but I decided to bring it to the credit union because I knew I was going to pay it. Why wouldn't I want the interest that I'm going to pay anyway? Why wouldn't I want it to go back into the community bank? So, but that's how people, they'll try to use the credit union when they have to.
That's it.
But they stop using
They leave us when they don't need us.
Yeah, when they don't need you. And that's the problem. We have to get out of that mindset. We have to get out of that mindset. You don't run to the credit union just because you feel like you have to. You don't have any other choice. You're really judged by when you're sitting up high, not just when you're down low. You're judged by your actions. So really start considering that. Because I still do business there, and I honestly don't have to. 800 credit score, I can go anywhere I want to. Yes, I'm at some other traditional banks, but I have 6 accounts at the credit union, and I'm very active there.
And it's good that you say that. We tip members. If you're at Third Federal and your mortgage is there, that is fine.
Yeah.
But why not come to the credit union and do your college student's credit card? Do the account there. Do your card with Faith. Third Federal only does mortgages.
Right.
Bring your card to Faith. Just
sure.
reach back and help your own community, piece by piece. And if we can't do your mortgage, let us do it.
Right.
I mean, I do appreciate our members. We have members in California, all over there. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Once you join the credit union, if you move out of state, you're still a member. We can still service you.
Okay.
And they're like, I don't care where my mortgage is. Faith was there when I was in college, a kid. My grandmother was at Faith. I'll bring you all the loans. That's what keeps the credit union going.
And I want to mention, too, a lot of people didn't have a lot of faith in us, when it came to the pandemic. The Paycheck Protection Program. A lot of people ran to the bigger banks, and guess what? They got caught up in the traffic.
The money got ran.
The money either ran out or they got caught up in the traffic with millions of people applying. But guess what? People didn't think about Faith. It took us to do the first maybe 3 loans, and the word got out. And everybody, we had so many business accounts being opened in that month that you would not believe. But guess what? And I tell people, Jackie and I sat at the desk with pretty much every person that came and signed for the Paycheck Protection. Don't let it stop here. Don't come to us because you got caught up at Key or you got a letter saying you're in the pipeline. And then we were able to fund you, not just a week, 2 weeks. Guess what? 3 days. We got the loan. We got your paperwork in. We got you. Jackie and I was up to midnight, a lot of nights or longer, getting these loans approved and funded, where they just had to walk in and get a check. And we said, don't forget about us at this point, because we were here when you couldn't go anywhere else. So remember that. Come and do business with us. Now you have a business account with us. It's no excuse. You can filter your payroll through here. You can come in, even if you don't have payroll coming in and out, come deposit some of your proceeds or your profits and your savings through your business here. Order business checks with us. Start doing other business activity with us. Don't let the Paycheck Protection stop with us.
Put our brochures in your business. Put it on the counters. Tell people what Faith has done for your pizza shop. We've had more people from the west side.
Oh, yeah, she brought us pizza.
Oh, she was like, hey, and we're like, don't stop. You're now a member.
Right, exactly.
What else will you do? Because there's round 2 of the PPP loans coming out. And Faith will be a part of that as well. So,
is there anything specifically, like any services that you offer specifically that can be directed towards business owners or entrepreneurs or investors that that the bigger banks are not doing it at all? Anything that you can think of?
I wouldn't say necessarily, because obviously the bigger banks have a lot more resource. As far as, because they're bigger. So they're going to have more people. They're going to have more products and services. But one thing that they're not going to have is the relationship. We're going to take the time with you. I think that's our biggest asset is the relationship. But we are continuing to grow. So one of the biggest things that we're working on right now, Jackie and I had a meeting last night about growing. What services can we offer? What can make us different to add on to what we're already doing. So those are always open, and we look to our business members such as you and other business members to tell us, what do you need?
Yeah.
Because right now we're pretty much offering the same thing. You know, I'm not going to sell a fairy tale and say we have all these products and services that's so different than other banks. But I know one thing that we do have for sure is the relationship base, where you're turned down from a bank. What are you getting? A black and white letter in the mail said, sorry. If you have any questions, contact TransUnion or whatever.
No explanation.
No
Why they
explanation.
turned you down.
Or you can dispute it through here, but don't call us, basically.
Yeah, basically.
You know, so I think that's our biggest asset right now is the relationship. But we are open to tell us what you need. We had a member come in that you sent. I'm not going to say his name, obviously, not too long ago. But he was asking us how can he filter his payroll through us, where, you know, and we're trying to, for his business, and we're trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure that out. We're trying to figure out other options to do deposits, you know, straight from the business where they can link it and where it comes straight to Faith. So because we are smaller and we have a small team, don't count us out. We just need to know the need. No one's ever expressed those needs to us before. And I think with more technology coming about, those are things since the credit union's been open that people didn't do business that way. You got your business, you got your drawer, you got your cash, and you walked it into a bank and made a deposit. But now everything is done electronically. And as you know, we just rebranded this year. So we have, I don't know if you've been by there, we got a new sign. We have a new sign outside. We have a new website about to launch. So all those things are coming into fruition this year. So, you know, we're just asking anybody that's currently a member, tell us what you need.
And let's work and volunteer, you know, help. Because on our board, like I was saying, we have attorneys. We can pick up the phone and get legal advice. We can call you and say, King, what about this? What are you thinking? You're like, you can do that, or that should be okay. This person is this. It's word of mouth. When you said what we can do with the SBA, they do not like doing small loans. That is where Faith came into play. We were actually asked because they're telling us, it's so much work doing the loan. They want $1 million loans.
Of course.
Because they're going to make money off of $1 million. If we can get someone a $60,000 SBA, they're like, I'm not touching that. So they'll turn our member away because the loan is too small. But our members may not need $1 million. You know,
and that's with consumer loans too. I noticed the bigger banks, they don't want to finance a $50,000 mortgage.
Oh, not at all.
But you guys do, right?
Yes.
We do.
Yeah,
we
in-house, right?
We do in-house up to $100,000.
Yeah.
So,
y'all just increased that because
about a year. It's been about a year. We're going on our second year being able to do 100. But we did that because we want our members to get out of the mindset that they can only own a $50,000 house. Because we have a lot of members that have good salaries, have great income that can afford over a $50,000 mortgage. So we do want to give them the opportunity to get a higher mortgage. So that's why
we can even do that.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's over 100,000,
we can make it.
Of
course.
Yeah,
because they don't understand the bigger banks. You know, with the machine that they're running, 50 interest on a $50,000 loan for 15 years or 30 years or 20 years. That's nothing. That's not in the rough one in cap. But for you guys, if you got 30 of those, 40 of those, it makes a difference.
And as you know, we do commercial. We did start into a couple of years ago, the commercial property.
Oh, you did?
So it's not, you know, we do have a little bit more strict guidelines as it pertains to commercial property. Obviously, you can't walk in the door and say, I want to finance this building. You know,
how much up to?
It just depends. You know, we do the appraisal. Again, we're still trying to stay in the same guidelines as mortgages, whatnot, because as you know, as an investor, there's a lot of commercial property that you can get under 100,000 or whatnot. But we are doing them for our relationship, you know, members. So we're asking for those opportunities that you've been at least a member at least a year. You have some type of deposit relationship with us. We don't want everybody running their doors like, I want to finance this building. Can you do it? Those are not the people that we're servicing because we want to skin in the game. We want to show that you're serious about being here at Faith. And obviously, we want to help you grow. If you're an investor and that's your business, we want you here. Obviously, you're going to ask for investment loans. So why would we not want to be a part of that?
And you have to remember, we are a financial institution. We're state regulated. You just can't come in and we just sign the check. Some people think that you did a king, but you wouldn't do this and that. You know, we're like, no, it's not even about that. If Akeem comes to us and we don't have the money, his no is a not now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't get mad.
It's a different
no. That's all it is. And we try and tell the members, and for the most part, I think they do. You know, they understand, and when you have someone you can give a testimony and say, hey, we always will say, and because you put your own story out for the privacy, we don't go around telling your info, but you always share your story online everywhere. And when they'll come in, they're like, I saw, yes, but hear the whole story. Hit the button on what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to leave out bits and pieces.
We're like, hey, right now you can't get that car. You did the 36,000 first and said, I can hold on the 70. You did the work, and then you came back and did the 100.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So it's those type of things, and I think when people can see it, they're visual, then they're like, oh wow. And you mentor people, so our businesses and our communities and people need that. I mean, we all see what's going on now that we deal with everything going on with DEI. Every meeting we go to, they're like, what do you all need? How can we help your community? You know, they can't see the struggle. And we often tell them our people have been in the struggle a long time. But with us sticking together and with faith, we move through. We 60-some years. We're slow, but we're for sure. We keep it moving and going. And like
and the
you
more
said,
that you tell us you need, the more we can go after grants for the needs. We
Yeah.
don't know, you know what I mean? So a lot of people don't know that we get grants.
we got a
But
lot of
grants is
relief
based
from this
exactly, for the
COVID through
COVID.
grants, and we were able to help members with loan payments.
Yes.
I mean, they lost their jobs. We were able to help make some payments. We gave out gift cards, member
Toys
testimonies. They're like, my kids had nothing.
Computers.
I love faith. We gave out computers. You know, different things like that. So whatever we can do, we're going to try to help the smallest member to the largest, dollar. Whatever we can do.
All right, so wrapping up, is there anything else that you want to share relating to Faith Community Credit Union that we missed in the conversation?
I think we said so much, and there's so much it just runs through your mind.
I'm sure it's going to be something that Jacqueline
That we were like, we should have mentioned that.
We're going to follow this this conversation up with a Q&A on Clubhouse soon, once this airs, and we can follow up at that time.
That would be great. Look out for the rebranding because, as we mentioned, it's coming.
Okay.
COVID, it did slow us down, but it didn't stop us. So
make sure you ride by the credit union, see our new signs.
Good to go. I'll be there.
No bad.
Well, I got some deposits. I got some deposits to make, so I'll be there.
Okay.
You want to give them to us? We can take it back.
Give my bag. All right. Good to go. That's it. It's a wrap.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.